Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 19th through the 25th. And during that time, we have a few different moon energies. The first is waning crescent, and that's a really good time for surrender, rest, and healing. Just fully let go and get a little extra rest and get prepared for the next cycle, which begins on the new moon on the 21st and 22nd. And of course, that's a really good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to start new projects, make new decisions. It's just a time for all the new things that you're ready to work on for the next cycle. We then move into the waxing crescent energy, which is like, that light starts to heighten your energies, or you have the ability to focus and just really buckle down on the new things that you've started. And it's just a good time to be very productive. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Cancer. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message from the Moonology deck this week is the energy is gaining momentum. Okay, let's see what the Cancer Collective has going on that has some energy gaining momentum. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I'd like to say that my weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicity. So this could be things like animals that get in your path that maybe you don't see every day. For me, that was a coyote I saw a couple weeks ago. We don't see those all the time here. They are around, but I just don't really see them. And that was kind of interesting for me. But an animal like that, I don't really mean your cat and dog, your pets that you see every day, but that weird bird or animal that you're like, wow, don't see those all the time. That to me is definitely some sort of synchronistic, something from the universe that is telling me personally to find the attributes of that animal and apply that to some part of my life that I'm working on at the moment. So that's one way of using synchronicities. It could be repeating numbers that you're seeing. And a lot of times that's just look up the angel number, or, find out what that number means to you and why are you seeing it all the time? What is the universe trying to tell you? So just a little puzzle there to work on. It might be a song that pops up on your playlist, or even just a piece of one as you're kind of shuffling through the channels. That happens in my car all the time, or conversation that you overhear. Anyway, all of those different synchronistic things that happen, just pay attention to those. That's just the universe's way of speaking to you on your special path and just kind of giving you clarity. I see them as like little breadcrumbs and hints. You may want to write some of these down if you have trouble kind of putting the big picture together, which of course I do all the time, but write them down. I saw this number on this date and I saw this animal. At some point, if you're keeping a journal about those things, at some point it'll start to make sense to you. So anyway, that is my fun reminder for you this week, Cancer. Let's get right into this reading, October 19th through the 25th. The energy is gaining momentum, and your overall present situation is the Four of Pentacles. So energy is gaining momentum, but here you sit in a very stable place when it comes to finances, material, things of the material world. It's not like you're just in a good, stable place. Nothing being added, nothing being taken away. There you go. Current situation is the Wheel of Fortune. So not only are you having this stable moment, but maybe you're going to have some sort of luck thing come in. There's some sort of something evolving, some evolution of sorts. Of course, this can be about luck, but it's just kind of, I always see this card as something like maybe opportunities that come up, or that you're just kind of ready for a thing. You've been, of course, stable, but you're also ready to go. And the wheel is constantly turning. You don't know, I always think of that song, The Wheel in the Sky Keeps Turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. I think about that because you really don't. Things can change overnight. A phone call can change everything, in a good or a bad way. So you kind of just have to be open to those roles and things that life brings you. And sometimes it just brings you to a better place, even though it might not seem like it in the moment. So what is at the root of your situation is the Temperance card. So, here's our angel of just balance and flow and just good energy, good balanced energy. If the devil is on one shoulder, this is the angel on the other, just telling you everything's going to be okay. We're going to just maintain this calm, balanced energy through this. And you're there. This is, I mean, talk about stability. Both of these cards are really big cards of stability. So something may be coming in to kind of rock you. Hopefully it's just a positive thing for you, right? In your recent past, Queen of Pentacles. So, wow. I mean, how much more balanced can you get? The Queen of Pentacles is definitely just, it's this past energy that you have, or the energy even that you sit in now that comes from your past, is that you just have an understanding about the material world, and you just manage it very well. When it comes to things like your money or your house or just things like that, you're just in a good place when it comes to that. On your mind this week is the Empress. So what a reading here, Cancer. So stability, we've got the Temperance card here. So the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune, we're starting to see now we've got three major arcana cards. This is kind of a big week for you. Energy is gaining momentum. For some of you, the Empress is definitely our card of pregnancy. This is the card of creativity, and that's the ultimate creativity, is creating life, right? So I always have to say that, it is the card of pregnancy. If it's something you're planning on, congratulations, getting that accomplished. That's awesome. If you're recently newly pregnant or just in the middle of your pregnancy right now, your life is about to change. This Wheel of Fortune is coming around for you in a way that is, your life is about to change in a major way, right? So that's something to think about. If it's not actual physical pregnancy, this is also a card of entering into a creative process of something that takes longer than just a day or a week or a month. It's something that's like a long-term project. This would be like, let's say you're going to renovate your house and it's going to take 6 months to accomplish. It's that kind of long term project. Let's say it's a work project that you take on that's something very creative, but it's something you have to really commit your time to. So, other than just actual pregnancy, it's also kind of giving birth to something that is a long term commitment for you. What is just ahead of you this week is the Page of Swords. So some new way of communication, or and this could be kind of how this information gets to you. Like I said, a message can come in. Like I said, a phone call can change you. Of course, making a decision about something like that that's long term definitely changes the course of your life. So very interesting there. But some energy is gaining momentum for you. This might be something that you have been working on for a while, and it is kind of starting to just come to fruition for you. In your advice position, awesome. No better place for that card. 10 of Cups is just happy life, happy family, just everyone around you is doing awesome. That's always great. What is beyond your control this week? Another 10. And I was just talking about synchronistic things. So now we've got two cards of 10. And tens they're definitely about achievement, but also ending. So anytime there's a 10, there's usually a beginning right around the corner. But two tens there, you're wrapping something up, but you're wrapping it up in a happy way. It's not, it's almost like it's the next thing, it's the next step in this evolution of who you are. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? All right, we've got the Eight of Wands here. I'm sorry, Eight of Swords. I don't know why I said wands, but that's interesting. Eight of Swords for you here. And this is, you know, I doubt if it's your secret desire to be feeling stuck, but you might be trying to avoid feeling like you're stuck. But this person isn't really stuck. And much like the Temperance card, I'll point out the similarity here on both cards, that both of these, like if you look at their feet, one foot in the water here and one on land, same here with this Temperance card. So this is kind of our angel of balance, and this is kind of your angel of off balance, right? It's kind of the opposite, but this person isn't really tied up so tightly. You just kind of have to, this card is encouraging you to, how can you think your way out of the situation? And if it is some sort of ending, if there's something that you'd like to do for a new beginning here with this Empress card, something creative, there may be something that does need to end, and you need to just kind of be creative about how you get out of that, right? Something that and you have the power to do it. You have the power to get out of it. So is that your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid? Are you trying to stay in that place. So that'll be your big question of the week this week. And in your outcome position is another page with the Page of Wands. So Page of Swords, which is kind of a new way of communicating, and Page of Wands, which is a new passion and something new that you will love. This card all the time comes with this Empress card, and I have seen it before, again, in a pregnancy reading where it is an actual pregnancy and it's a thing that you are absolutely going to love and to help nurture and grow. So I do see that for you. Not, like I said, doesn't necessarily have to be pregnancy, although for some of you it will be. It can be just a long-term project that you are going to watch nurture and grow, but it's about to change. It's going to change your wheel of how your life is going, which is really great, and it's gaining momentum. So what's hidden from you this week? What's hidden from you is the Magician. Very interesting. So, the Magician is about awareness and about kind of choosing choosing the element of which you will move forward, and maybe you're just not quite there yet. I wouldn't be surprised and it's almost like you're evaluating or starting a thing, and maybe the Magician comes for you next week. If you come to the reading next week, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Magician pop up for you. If it does, of course, leave me a comment, because I will completely forget this by that time. But this Magician card is kind of the Magician that asks you, which element do you want to choose to move forward? And you're not really being asked that. It's almost like, I feel like whatever's happening to you this week is happening to you. It's not like you've really chosen it. Doesn't mean it's a negative thing, but maybe this Magician comes along in the next few weeks to see how would you like to proceed with this thing, with whatever this is that is gaining momentum here. So very interesting reading, Cancer. I'm very curious to see. Drop me a comment, of course. Let me know, what sort of Wheel of Fortune thing did you have in your life this week that changed? That kind of just changed the course of your life. I mean, I think for some of you, again, I don't even see it as a negative. It's like a positive thing. It could be some money came in, a new job offer came in, you met someone, you got pregnant. So there's a lot of different things in which this could manifest itself. But if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know. All right, final message here for Cancer. Final message from the Soul Oracle deck. Cancer, October 19th through the 25th. And your card is Grieve Your Losses. So not shocked here with this 10. That's something you do. It looks like you are letting go of something to make room for something else that is coming into your life. And it's okay. It's like it's time for it to be over. And it's okay. You're going to be fine. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Cancer, October 19th through the 25th. What does Cancer need to do in the way of self-care? And the card that comes up for you is the card of choice. Worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. Wow, I love that card. Yeah, what outcomes, I mean, I don't think you're going to get really a choice. Again, this will be your big decision here. Are you trying to remain stuck in some situation that you can get out of? You can think your way out of it. That'll be your big question this week. But make sure, again, when it comes to choice, worry less about making the right choice and more about being strong enough to handle any outcome. You can. That's where, we're all trying to get there, where we can handle any outcome to anything and just handle life as it comes at us. So, Cancer, thank you so much for being here with me this week. I do hope there's something you can take away and use in this reading. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a message down below in the comment section and let me know, again, what things have come into your life this week that have changed. Are any of you pregnant? I would be very curious to know. Anytime I see that Empress card, I'm always wondering that. And, what things have come into your life to just change it, and what energy was gaining momentum for you this week? I'm just really, really curious to know what things have you let go of and what are you looking forward to? But again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment. I do readings every week. So, of course, come back next week and we'll see if this energy, this story continues, or if there's some completely new energy here for you next week. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me as a new YouTuber, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And also, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Cancer, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.